one power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power.
Good morning. Okay. Such is the nature of life that all it asks and all it wants is the opportunity to appear. You are that opportunity, and so am I, and so it is. Welcome, everyone, to CSL Midtown, coming to you this morning from Atlanta, Georgia. We're so happy that you've joined us today, and we welcome everyone, all people, no matter who you are or where you are in your life. We welcome all those who are listening online and also those who are here present in the room for our in-person service, being the first Sunday of the month. Our center reflects the beautiful, diverse tapestry of life. So we welcome you, whoever you are and whatever path brought you to be here today. Know that you are in the right place and that this is the right time for you. We know that you are an individual expression of the divine life in which we all live. You're welcome to participate here today and to connect with our community and to become a part of us. We hope that those of you who are watching our broadcast on social media will like and share this with your friends. And let's move on forward for a better understanding of who we are and what we teach. Let's listen now to our Declaration of Principles as written by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes.
A few of the Declaration of Principles we live by.
I believe in one God, one absolute power, and first cause to all things.
I believe that this power is perfect love, and it creates out of a desire to express love.
I believe all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience.
I believe in the unity of all life, and the immortality of the individual soul forever unfolding.
I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of God to all.
And so it is.
So grateful, hey.
All right. Well, good morning and welcome. My name is Judy Aehle, and I'm the practitioner for today's service. And today is Easter, so happy Easter to all. It was a big holiday in my family growing up, all of that chocolate, you know, what kid wouldn't love that? It was the next biggest holiday to Christmas. Anyway, the yearly global theme that we are setting this year, as Ernest Holmes said, is to be open at the top. In other words, to be open to new ideas, to the ever-evolving nature of life, and of this teaching as well. And today is the first Sunday of April, and this month's theme is the practice of becoming. And today's topic is living with presence and deep awareness. This teaching is a healing and transformative teaching. We believe that it all starts in the mind with belief and expectation. What do you believe? What do you expect? I have been on a journey to manifest greater health. And as we say here, perfect health. One of the meditations that the adult study group read recently, actually it was last Sunday, in the Science of Mind textbook was entitled Healing of the Flesh. And the next meditation right after that was There is no pain. Here is that meditation from the textbook. There is no pain nor inflammation. All fear is swept away in the realization of truth. I am free from every belief in pain, The spirit cannot pain. I am pure spirit. I am free from all pain. Well, wow. I thought as I read this, I have really come a long way on my journey to be pain and symptom free. How did I do it? It all starts in the mind. But isn't the pain that I feel in my body pointing to something that's wrong in my body? Maybe, or maybe not. I had some symptoms of pain in my body that no medical doctor could say what they were from. I had all the tests, had all the scans, everything came back, it was fine. So to me, this pointed the way to my mind or my belief or my expectations. So what did I do? It feels like pain in my body. The sensations are real. No one's going to tell me otherwise. Don't tell me it's all in my head. But maybe it is in the way I have been thinking and expecting life to be. But here is what I did to let it all go. The first thing I did was that I stopped responding to any pain or sensations with worry or fear. I even stopped calling it pain. I started calling them safe sensations. Having conversations with my pain that allowed me to just relax into the feelings and to even welcome how I was feeling. Then I learned to wear the pain loosely. I really didn't want to be so attached to it. I started telling my mind that my body was structurally sound, that there really was nothing wrong, you've been checked out, and that there was no need for these sensations at all. That the truth of me is that I am pure spirit, so I don't need to have this at all. I also did a lot of journal writing during this time to look at old childhood stuff, feelings that never got expressed, some old anger, rage, fear, sadness, even despair that I think I was holding in my body. The combination of these things has worked for me. So yes, I did change my mind. I changed my thoughts and my expectation and my pain. It was mostly back pain, some other stuff. And my pain has gradually gone back to the nothingness from which it came. So that's my lesson for this morning. So I'm going to transition now into leading us in a spiritual mind treatment. So if you would just get yourselves nice and relaxed, take a couple of nice, slow, deep breaths, and bring your attention to being right here in this room, in this present moment. And as we do that, as we let our thoughts focus on being right here and letting go of what we've been thinking about, letting go of what we're going to be doing after this, or what we've been worried about or concerned about, we just let all that stuff drop away and know that this presence, this spirit, that God is all there is, that this power is present everywhere. It's in other people. It's in us. It's in our very cells of our body. It's in the trees around us. It's in the beautiful spring flowers. It's in the rain that's gently coming down today. It is everywhere present. It's in every situation that we are in, every desire that we have in our lives, every person that we meet. And as I know that spirit is everywhere present, I know that I am one with it. I am totally connected with spirit down to the very cellular level of my body. I am never separated from this power, and that this is a power for good. It expresses in the world as love, as peace, as vibrant health, as prosperity, as wisdom, as endless creativity. So I know that I am connected to all this, and that it is at my disposal to use in my life and to express as me. I know that I bring good to wherever I come, and that each person here brings good to whatever situation that they are in. I know that today's message is good, and that we each hear and learn exactly what we need to hear and learn today, because we are ever evolving in our understanding of how to use this teaching in our lives in greater and greater ways. I turn away from any idea of worry, fear, doubt, ideas of limitation, ideas that I'm not good enough, ideas that it's just one bad thing happening after another. I let go of all that stuff because that's not the truth. The truth is that this presence and this power is everywhere, and it is a power for good. And it flows through my life as I allow it to do so. So I release this treatment now, knowing that it is so, and I am grateful. And as we say together, and so it is. I think we have some music next. Diana Ross, I'm coming out. Woohoo! All right. Wow. It's a blast from the past. That was great. All right. Well, today we welcome back to our center as our speaker this morning, Reverend Dr. John Karn. He is a religious science minister for the Emerson Theological Institute. He is a CPE certified hospice chaplain and a religious science practitioner through CSL as well. He serves on the advisory board for the Emerson New Thought Center, which contains the Emerson Institute. He is also co-founding member and co-director of Three Mountains Sangha, a new Buddhist community in Atlanta, along with our friend Apriel Jessup Sergi. His passion is to serve the disenfranchised, whether they are four-legged creatures or those cast out from society in some way. His message to us all is, you are an extension of the divine, and as such, you are greatly loved. Welcome back, Reverend Dr. John Karn. Woo!
Thank you. Good morning. So I picked out the Diana Ross song, in case you're wondering. Who can we blame for that? So I picked it out, and then Vance said, no, it's going to be probably not going to work out. And then he started asking me questions about it yesterday. I'm like, oh, good. I'm so glad you got it back in there, because I'm coming out, and resurrection has something to do together. And when you look at religious science resources for the resurrection or Easter service, they are few and far between. What I remember most is Paul Gagne's joke that he used to tell every Easter morning about being really careful on the streets when you get out there, because there are so many extra cars of people trying to find where it is they go to church. So I'll tell you, they go to church there. All righty, and I'm going to be looking at metaphysical interpretation of the Lenten season very briefly, just a small little taste. And then we're going to look at the resurrection. And because these are sort of biblical, but they're metaphysical interpretation, I went ahead and got the practitioners to treat. The doors are locked. And guess what? You can't leave, and we are all subject to the practitioner's consciousness. So the question people have about the resurrection is the validity of it. Is it a true story? What do you think? And what I do when confronted with that kind of question is I look back to the books of the Bible where it was referenced. Who said it first? What did they say? Usually the first one doesn't say what the other ones are saying. And in the book of Mark, he was the first to write about it. And what he said was, the crucifixion occurred. They put the body in a tomb, put a stone in front of it. And the next day, the two Marys went to see him. The stone was moved to the side, and Jesus was missing. And that was the end of the story. And so you can, in your own mind, you can wonder about that. But then with later versions, and in the book of Mark specifically, they started adding more information and more information to make it match the other books. So the Lenten season, the 40 days before today, is a season of true spiritual work, of reclaiming our right place in the intentional process that is the process of us becoming what we are. Now, was that one too much? Let me repeat it. The Lenten season is a season of true spiritual work, of reclaiming our rightful place in the intentional process that is the process of us becoming who we are. Doesn't that sound like spiritual practice, spiritual unfoldment, something we can learn through spiritual mind treatment? So the process of the resurrection is very much in alignment with our spiritual principles when we're looking at it from metaphysical perspectives. On my own journey, I came across Charles Fillmore's book, published in 1953, called Keep a True Lent. And this book was written or put together after he had died by his students, which I think is interesting because the disciples taught their students, and as they died, the students put together the various books in the New Testament. So keeping a true Lent makes sense to me. It's the first thing that made sense to me. And so for fasting, fast from negative thoughts. He encouraged his followers to fast from criticism, condemnations, belief in lack or sickness. Feast on spiritual truth. What would that be? Contemplation about positive, life-giving ideas like love and strength, abundance, gratitude to align your mind with the God mind. And here we're seeing the word God mind. And I think Judy may have used a similar phrase during her treatment. Take time for communion with God. And Charles Fillmore put it as private communion with God. And as you remember, going to your prayer closet to pray versus putting on a big theatrical prayer out there. And so when I look at the scripture where Jesus had said, go into your prayer closet, I think what he's saying here, and in this Charles Fillmore book, is go within for your time of communion. I believe in here is the prayer closet. And then there's an inner resurrection. Do the work for 40 days, as I outlined it. And that's enough time to cross out false beliefs symbolized by the crucifixion. And this can help you make your way for resurrection of spiritual consciousness. And don't forget this. Jesus came to be the great example, not the great exception. So if Jesus can have a resurrection, guess what? So can I, and so can you. He did not say my resurrection is sufficient for all. He said, if I can do it, so can you. Here's a fact for you. If anybody has ever done anything, then anybody can learn how to do the thing. So what we're seeing and what we're learning is totally possible. The significance that Jesus was crucified and entombed with a boulder covering the opening, and then that boulder being moved, is a reminder that the power of the Creator is always bigger than the problem, and so are we. I believe that's the message of moving the tomb. The boulder. You see, the tomb was never meant to be a permanent resting place. And so as we open up ourselves to the teaching, we give thanks that the path is already made clear for us. The light is on, and we can see where to take that first step. Even if we can't see the full journey, we can see the first step. We take that step, knowing the light is on, the path has been made clear, and the next unfold. We just follow our intuition or our guidance around that. And now know that not everyone pops out of the tomb like Diana Ross singing, I'm coming out. Some people are content with being in the tomb. That stuff out there might be stressful. I have a nice recliner chair I've brought into the tomb. I'm good with staying there. The tomb in Israel is a little bit cooler than it is out there. And there's no need for me to go out there and try and grow or be challenged. I'm happy where I am. So this is about us all becoming all we can be on the journey of unfolding consciousness, which to me sounds like the path of spiritual mind treatment, which takes us through our path of spiritual unfoldment. And so if we are also to experience a resurrection over the obstacles and barriers that would keep us entombed, we have to be willing to change the way we think, what we believe, and what we do. So put this in your notes. The way I think about an experience will determine how I respond to it. And if I think about the experience of the resurrection as just a wonderful thing for Jesus, then I'll think my only responsibility is to celebrate it. But if I think about the resurrection of Jesus as something that's real for me, then I've got some work to do. So let me ask you this: what entombs you? Are you entombed by a diagnosis of a well-meaning doctor? Are you entombed by past experiences that have you driving the wrong way down a dead-end street? Are you entombed about or by relationships that do not complement you? Let me say it again. Are you entombed by relationships that do not complement you? Are you entombed by more month than there is money? Are you entombed by pain, anger, and fear that you just don't be able to seem to shake? What entombs you? And when it comes to having a resurrection experience that is real, it begins with the realization that the stone has to be rolled away before I can ever come out. And I'm coming out. Robert Flatt said that the resurrection story gives my life meaning and direction and the opportunities to start over no matter what my circumstances. Being buried in the tomb of limitation can seem disempowering experience, but I have to recognize and remind myself that I am never powerless. How many of you know that you can't make someone move if they're gaining their goal of staying in the tomb? Many people are very content in their unhappiness. They're happy with the negative side of life. And in fact, they're not happy with you until you are also unhappy. So if you're sitting next to one of those, just keep your eyes here on me. Don't really go like that. So keep looking at me and know you have a choice. You can stay in there with them or you can come out. And I'm coming out. I don't know about you. Somebody else may pay my bills, but guess what? I'm never powerless. Someone may need to care for me, but I'm never powerless. I'm power-filled. I'm never powerless unless I choose to be. So even if I give my power away to the obstacle, I'm never apart from my source. We cannot be separate from our source, period. The way that works for me to remind myself, and I like to teach others, actually comes from A Course in Miracles, but this is the one I like the best. It's I am an extension of God. I am an extension of the power that is. I am the extension of that creativity. And so if I am an extension, this is like my fingers are an extension of my hand. This is all connected. This all works together. It's the same stuff. There is no me and it's a little light inside or some power up there that I can't see that I'm energetically connected to. I believe every single cell of our body is God. There's no place that is not God. And when we give our attention to that, guess what? Great healing occurs. I used it quite a bit when I was recently in the hospital. They would try to give me news to prepare me for a bad outcome. But I would go into treatment. I'd remember that I am connected to God. And there's nothing wrong with God. God's health is perfect. And that was what got me through that. And I really believe it. So I think it happened really quickly for me. And so the source of us has the power to roll back the obstacle, to clear the way for us to go out the tomb door entrance. There's a story that I like about a soap maker and a teacher. They're taking a walk together, In my mind's eye, I see them walking like in the area of Ralph McGill Boulevard. They're walking up the steps, walking around on the sidewalk. They see nice things that are going up, and they see poverty as well. And the soap maker says, look at all the violence and the poverty and all this trouble. After thousands of years of study and lessons, there's still problems. And the teacher walking with her did not respond. They kept walking, and eventually the teacher saw a child playing in the dirt. And of course he was dirty. And the teacher said, look at that child. You would think with all the soap in the world, that child would be clean. And the soap maker said, well, yes, but when it's used, the child is clean. And the teacher said, yes, and so it is with truth. It's useless unless it's used. And this reminds me of Johnny Cochran. It works when you work it. I said Cochran, didn't I? Johnny Coleman. I've done that twice now in front of people, not just at home. The power lies within us already. It's dormant until we activate it. The second thing we have to direct our thoughts to is where we want them to go. I'm not telling anyone here something you haven't already heard, but if you're entombed by something, there is some belief that is keeping you there. Eric Butterworth said, you are always on the side of your problem or you're on the side of your solution. And focusing on obstacles is like standing back and looking at that stone, even though it's been rolled away from the tomb. It's continuing to give your attention to the stone rather than to the opportunity. This is sort of like complaining that it's sunny outside, but there's a little fleck of dirt on the window. Wouldn't it be great if that dirt was gone? That's someone who can't see the sun shine. They're only seeing the dirt. Now, Tony Robbins says, where focus goes, my power flows. And so I have to be able to sharpen my focus so that my activity moves me in the direction of what it is I want to experience. So when we get out of the tomb, let us focus on what we're going to do when we make the decision to get out. And I think I need to clarify that sentence again. So when we want to get out of the tomb, let us focus on what we're going to do when we make the decision to get out. So if I focus on that stone that's already been rolled away, and I think of it as myself feeling unworthy, feeling fear, feeling past mistakes, all of those beliefs are in the stone. But if I focus on resurrection, I have the energy and the motivation to leave this tomb. We change our mindset, we're able to exit the tomb. I'm coming out. I'm coming out of that tomb. What's next on the agenda? This is something I use with people that have an insurmountable problem in their mind that they're facing. And yes, I've actually started using it on myself as well, trying to think, well, if I tell other people this, I can do it too. Ask the person, so what are you doing next? So you got that at noon. What do you have on your plans for 12:45 or 1 p.m.? Okay, and that starts to lessen whatever the insurmountable object is or project is. When they think about that, okay, so that's going to be done. It will have all been done. And just 15 minutes later, I'll be doing whatever that is. So that is a very good way to take something insurmountable and cut it down to size. Interestingly, this is another little nugget. Jesus went into the tomb one way, dead, and he came out of it later transformed. And so the people that wrote this were making a point that when you go through that process, you will be changed by it. His face shone like the sun. If you look at the earliest versions of the story in Mark. And then, of course, I've already told you his later versions were updated. The other versions out there say his body was a physical body and they could touch it. And so I think that's important to know because we're in a physical body. We are still going to be made flesh whenever we go through whatever that is that we're overcoming. If we're going to roll back the stone and come out of the tomb, we're going to have to move our feet. And as good religious science people, we've all heard that before. Let us use our teaching. This is the best way I know of to move that stone and walk out of what really is our self-imposed entombment. There's nothing we can't overcome, and we can't blame somebody else for why we're there. We were just going on the journey. Let us claim our freedom and our power right now, knowing where it comes from. And that's from within us. And so if we're not doing the work that moves the stone out of the way, we're conditioning ourselves for permanent entombment. I don't want to be training myself to tolerate being entombed. Let us not settle for things that don't work for us. And if we move before the pain becomes too bad, we are moving by inspiration rather than desperation. And I prefer to be moving by inspiration. I don't know about you. A lot of people will not take action until the pain becomes unbearable. David Barrett used to say to us, how bad does it have to get before you make the change? Well, there are wildlife webcams. I don't know if you guys or how many of you are aware of them that naturists will put up like above an eagle's nest or, near a bear's cave. And one of the eagle nest ones I watched, and initially you see the mother eagle putting together the nest. Something's driving her to do that, something from within. She lays her eggs. The eggs hatch, and you can see the little babies. And then she flies off to get food and brings it back. And then after a little while, she starts feeling like, this feels cramped. This could be her tomb. I don't want to be cramped anymore. So she pops one baby out of the nest. And then she pops another one out of the nest. And they are just falling down this cliff. There's like no place to land. And there's ocean at the bottom. The babies will put their wings out and feel some resistance from the air. And then that makes them fly off. And so they learn that they can fly and that they can go high. And so is moving by inspiration. What seems impossible for the chicks is totally possible. And what seems impossible for us is also possible. Nature is showing us. It's saying, look, pay attention. We're all here, all mixed together with all that is, because it is all God. And sometimes that's where the answers are. And so this is all about knowing our truth, right? We're talking truth principles here. Claiming and naming our connection to one and all. Choosing to feast on words of affirmation. practicing gratitude, treating and moving our feet. And so I encourage you to go ahead and make a commitment to come out and spread your wings so you can fly. And what you'll realize is that your altitude goes higher and higher. And that thing that looked like it was an insurmountable problem is now seen through the view of your rearview mirror. So I'm coming out. I trust that you are too. Blessings to all. And our president and IT guy, my personal accountant.
Yeah, right.
Coming.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. John Karn. Awesome talk this morning. Coming out, it took me a while to get my head around that, but we got it. So now I'm going to do our new minister sacred covenant easy prayer. And you can read this with me, say it out loud if you want. There's only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. And knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to express spirit, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of spirit as principle. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God. For it is written, principle is not bound by precedent. It operates according to the law, and it is always available to those who are willing to align themselves with it. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister before me as informing spiritual oneness through wisdom, love, and authenticity. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself. For I am inspired to live as love in the expression of principle. I am awakening the wisdom within me by clearly communicating the principles of universal truth. I am a conduit of divine love, wisdom, and healing energy, recognizing the inherent wholeness within all beings. I'm offering teachings, classes, and mystical studies grounded in spiritual principles to cultivate inner wisdom, personal transformation, and empowered living. I'm extending the love, compassion, and transformative power of spirit into the wider community, fostering connections that heal, uplift, and support individuals in their unique journeys. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they will be revealed in a way that will express spirit and serve the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful. God is gracious, and so it is. And now we come to our time for, and there's a basket in the back for those of you in the room that want to donate there. And you can donate online. You can click the QR code or go to cslmidtown.org, and that will take you to, you can do a one-time.
You lose your microphone.
What? Oh, there it is. It's still, like it's not behaving properly. Okay. So now let's say our affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. A couple of announcements. Next week, we will be back online, and we've got back with us Reverend Dr. Ron Fox, and Becky Fox will be a practitioner that day. And for those of you that want to know more about the science of mind and study, there's a 10 a.m. on Sundays study group that meets on Zoom. So you can go to cslmidtown.org, go to the Zoom meeting, and join that discussion group. They're going through, you're about finished with this science. No, you still got all that to go. Okay, all right. So it's a very big book. So it's a lot to go. So they're working through that. So now let's say our affirmation of life. I leave this place now knowing something better than I knew before. I go forth into the world with a heart full of love and a mind full of good sense. I look at the world in a greater way, knowing that I have within me everything I need to create the life I desire. I give thanks for this understanding, and I am grateful for the spirit of life that lives through me. And so it is. So I'm going to do something for the online people. There's a few of you on there, and we'll have a quick chat on that. I can turn it around. I can turn the camera around. We can have a discussion group. We get the potluck going in here. So we're going to move the tables around to do that. And then I'm going to check with everybody online and see if they want to stay and participate in the conversation. Thanks.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. I'm so grateful.